Oh, good morning, everybody. I It's Friday. TGIF, welcome. Let's see who's here today. And good morning, Candace. The fireplace is back. Something weird happening with. I'm doing it with a green screen here, and something that really is weird is happening with my green screen today. The setup is completely the same as it always is, but it's giving me a weird kind of look. So we'll have to put up with that. I'll have to figure out what the heck that is. I don't know why. The setup is literally exactly the same. I don't know. Anyways, we'll get through it. And maybe with a bit of green showing up, we will have a bit of a green day today. Let's count it as that. Maybe let's take that as a good sign. So I've got my coffee. Hopefully you've got your coffee, and we'll see how we goes today. I've just pulled up a couple of articles to kind of share, but also wanted to mention just thanks to everybody for joining in. Welcome Friday. Say hi if you're watching. We are very friendly here. We'll always yeah, backlighting. I don't know. You know what? Let me try one thing. Bear with me here. I'm gonna mute my mic so it doesn't get all weird. Put on another light, but that's exactly the same. So weird because it's exactly the same settings. I do not know why it is not working today. StreamYard is not cooperating. Maybe must be maybe something in the settings got changed. I know what it was. There we go. That's better. Look at that. Look at that. Sidetrack. My browser. I had to reset the browser yesterday and cleared a bunch of the junk and cache out of there, and that was what it was. It reset all my StreamYard settings. Look at this. Perfect. Hopefully we stay green. So that works. There we are. But welcome. So back on track. I got a couple articles we'll talk about today. Just a few I pulled up from the news today. The market looks like it's a seesaw, so we'll see we'll check in on that. But also I shared on my community tab. I went shopping this morning, so I did my deposit. It's payday today, which is nice. So I did a deposit into my TFSA, and I feel if you've seen the community tab, I finally bought some Tesla. So they had their earnings weren't what they expected. Price came down. I think I bought five. So I bought I shouldn't say I bought 5 shares of the CDR. I bought 5 shares of that. So did a purchase of that. Finally got into that. That was good. I think I hopefully got a good little price. We'll see how that goes. And then I did purchase another share of VFE, the S&P 500 ETF. And then I had a bit left over, and I purchased a share of RNW, TransAlta Renewables. So a little bit of shopping. Let me know if you've bought or sold, bought anything today or sold anything. I guess there's still some deal. I think of it as hopefully a deal, but we'll see how things go with the market. I think we're still in for that seesaw days. But from what I've looked at so far, we might end the week up a little bit, which might be nice. And that brings me to the first article to share. So and hopefully nobody owns any of this. But I was reading and I saw this. I guess their earnings were dismal. Snap, and not good today. Down 31% today. Yikes. I don't own any Snapchat. I don't use Snapchat. I'm not maybe their demographic for a user of Snapchat. I don't even know. I don't think I've even ever tried it or downloaded it, but change this fair. Yeah, welcome. I think it's I think it's an everything roller coaster ride. I don't think it matters. As you can see, at least I didn't have Snapchat. But I always find when you see some of these tech companies are it's just like, it's crazy how much it can drop. I guess overvalued or what have you. But it's and then you look at something like, say, Bitcoin or something like that, and people say it's too volatile, and then you see this happening with Snap. pretty crazy. And that will definitely get a holy banana bread, Candace. Yeah, that's pretty ugly. I saw that I guess after I was kind of looking at the news after the market closed yesterday. I guess their earnings were not as expected. But it looks like if you see some other ones like Twitter is getting hit too. A lot of these kind of tech stuff always have that boom and bust. It looks like. So at least I didn't own any. Snap makes some of my investments look pretty good, as opposed to that. But who knows? It could change tomorrow, right? And speaking of Tesla, I think change is fair. I think you mentioned you had some of that in the CDR, if I'm not mistaken. I know a few people on the channel do have that, but so that was interesting on that one. And we always seem to go. Let me just share this page again. And Stats Canada retail sales were up in August. So that's not good for inflation, but we always seem to get onto the the inflation chat on the talk. But apparently the preliminary estimate for September, basically that overall gain from August, is saying that it has been erased. So consumers are being more cautious, scaling back on discretionary items such as dining out and entertainment. So the monthly gains in sales in bars and restaurants is kind of, like it says here in the article, if I scroll it down, fizzling out from the summer. So people aren't going to be going out for food and stuff, and just pulling back on their discretionary spending, which I think we're kind of maybe seeing that a little bit, because we had the CPI numbers in Canada were, well, they're down, but they're higher than what they're always higher. It never works out the other way around. It seems like they're high with 6.9, right? But they were expecting 6.8, predicting. So it's like, it's come down, but it's still not down enough. It always seems to be the way with how things work. But I guess people are now taking a bit more cautious approach to what they're spending their money on. We've talked about it before on here. I mean, I know I have been for a while now, but I think everybody's probably, I guess now, once we had that, it seemed like this was kind of the first summer for like, for a couple of years where it was kind of like back to, quote normal. But so I guess people were taking advantage of that. But then I guess fall and winter hits, and all of a sudden, like, I guess maybe a bit of reality is going to hit in for a lot of people when they start to get their get their summer credit card bills from the summer travel, and all the restaurant bills start piling up, and then all of a sudden winter hits, and reality, maybe a bit of reality hits when you're not able to go out and sit on a patio as much and you're stuck at home. But we'll have to see how that works. And Tesla, so you have Tesla and you have the actual Tesla. Yeah, it's so pricey though. That was the problem. So I figured I dip my toe in it and pick up the CDR, which seemed to work to hedge me. Yeah. Still too pricey, and I don't have the US account. I didn't see the point in necessarily buying. I've had this weird thing with fractional shares a little bit too, but that's just me. So start off with the CDR, see how it goes. It's something I think that I can easily be able to dollar cost average a little bit when I can. Candace, that was part of the reason I'm choosing to get the CDR. I guess I could do that with fractional shares, but without having a US account and everything else, it just seems, I think, a little bit better value, bit better maybe value, and not losing any exchange at this point and that kind of stuff. So toe dipper would be toe dipper. Toe dipper is a word. That's an investing term. toe dipper. It's too funny. That's good. And that's if anybody has any other news that they tracked up, let me know, because it's always kind of nice to find out. Did anybody, I purchased those 3, 2 stocks and an ETF today. Did anybody buy anything yet today? oh, down 425 in Tesla. Yeah, it hasn't been great. Um, yeah, and that's US dollars. So that's like $1,000 Canadian, $1,000 Canadian. I shouldn't laugh. But yeah, that's ouch. That's about $600, probably. Well, close to. I'm gonna guess roughly 550. Yeah, it hasn't been. I mean, well, yeah, hard to say. But if you look at it, I mean, it's at its 50. It's like basically right now at its 50. I kind of dip my toes, as we say, because it's at its roughly 52-week low, if I'm not mistaken. And I thought that was a good time to get it. And I don't know. I see the long term kind of like I mean, you're probably I don't know what you're doing with it if you're going to be selling it. Probably I'm going to guess you're holding it. Uh, I think in the long term it's going to be probably a good hold. Just the all the AI stuff and everything they're doing. That's I think what's going to really really hit eventually. Just this it's really a software company, right? Cars are just how they're it's like roving computers. So and that's the thing. I think they will. We have to get through this. This is like I think we're in that time. The more I read and the more I kind of find out, like this is kind of like the I think we're in the worst of the worst. That's what I'm hoping. It kind of seems like that with everything that's kind of there's so much like there's literally so much happening in the world right now that it's impossible to kind of keep track of what the heck is even going on. I mean, like the UK Prime Minister resigned after 44 days, like stuff like that, and everything that's going on in Europe with Ukraine and Russia, and it's just everything that's happening everywhere. I It's the markets are just like I don't even know. I'm not a unsavvy investor, but I'm also not like I'm not, as everybody knows, I'm not like by a pro by any means. But it's just it's hard. Like I feel bad for people that are we'll use the toe dipping term. Like if people are just starting to invest right now, it would be really scary. I mean, it's scary for me sometimes, but you just know it eventually turns around. But like this is like a this is like nothing I think we've ever seen. Maybe I'm thinking back back to 2008, maybe a little bit like that. It's different though, it's completely different than that. And I wasn't investing the same on my own back then, so it was like I was kind of shielded from a bit of the day to day like volatility of it. Anyways, that's how yeah, bear market. It's got to be finished. And I sorry, Candace. Yeah, I saw on your stream you're buying like the supercomputer. That's pretty awesome. I've looked at those before. It's beyond probably my needs, but if I could afford, if I could afford it, I would probably jump on that. It's a great looking machine. I know you use a Mac. I use a Mac as well. I'm like sitting in front of my iMac, and that's what I use to edit videos. And that would be called the super YouTube editing machine. It does make a big difference, right? Like having a decent computer for doing your work. I've definitely noticed that. Like I've had Macs forever, not forever, but for I can go back probably 20 years, like almost 20 years. Probably one of my first computers almost, but they're great for video. They I find they're pricey. Everybody says they're so pricey, but I find they last a lot longer. I mean, before I upgraded to this one, the computer that I'm using, it's a 27 iMac. I have to look. I can't even remember what year it is. I think it's 20. What one is it? 2020. So I got it in 2020, and it's been going. It's been great. So it's almost it's almost 3 years old, working perfectly, and it's been great. So that new machine might be great. The only suggestion I have with if you're editing lots of videos, Candace, is obviously you probably know this is get as much RAM as you can possibly afford. That'll be your lifesaver, especially if you start running. I don't know, Candace, do you use Adobe Premiere? Like I can't remember what you use to edit. I use Adobe Premiere, and it loves RAM and a good video card, so you'll have that in that machine. But yeah, as much RAM as you can afford. helps out, and hard drive space. Although if you're editing, I always edit on a we'll jump onto, I see that MacBook. You're going to notice a huge difference. I have a MacBook Pro as well, a laptop, and you'll notice it's like night and day. It's crazy how fast the actual desktops and stuff are. You'll be rendering in no time. And Final Cut Pro. Okay, I haven't used Final Cut Pro. I've always used Adobe Premiere because I have the Adobe suite, because I use Adobe Lightroom for my photographs. So I've just bought the suite, and that's how I got into using Premiere. There's definitely a learning curve for both, but. And Spain to share. And you started investing in August. Well, that's you got in. I guess the saving grace with that though is you bought it probably pretty close to the bottom. You know, if not the bottom, pretty much the bottom. So I think it can be only eventually up from here. Hopefully, a lot of other people have been in it for shorter periods. For a bit longer periods of time. Like look at myself. I was in April 2021, and it's red too. So. Get used to red. It's weird to see a green day. But I think the suggestion is just to stick at it. Stick to your plan. We'll be rewarded. We'll be sitting on a live stream come February, March, and we'll be looking back at these days wishing we bought more, or could afford more, I guess. Yeah. So we'll see. But no, it's tough out there. I know. Everybody's in the same boat, and that's what, like we said, yeah. As soon as the it's the states, right? The states runs everything. As soon as the Fed starts to pause rates, we'll see it. We'll see a change for sure. And there's a bit of talk. I did read a bit of an article this morning that they're talking about. They've kind of mentioned slowing down the rate increase, like not slowing down the rate increases, but kind of like slowing down the amounts. So they were kind of talking 50 basis points as opposed to 75. So we'll see. I think Canada will be 75 basis points. Our announcement is next week. It's already like the end of October, which is crazy. 26. So is it next Wednesday, right? So we'll see. The bulls will be back eventually. Yeah, have faith. That's the thing. You're not down unless you sell it. That's how I kind of look at it. You don't necessarily look at that. You just look at what you don't lock it in. You don't lock in the loss unless you sell it, right? So if it's a long-term investment for your retirement or something like that. I mean, I don't know how long you are to retirement, but if it's 5 years or 10 years, there's no point in doing anything with it right now. You might as well just kind of ride it out. And Vic is. You think you're thinking, that's very bearish. 2024. I don't know about that. I think 2023 will hopefully be good for us. I think we're in the worst of it now. Hopefully, we're in the worst of it now. We will see. Coffee is good today. This week went really fast, which is a good thing. I can't believe it's the weekend tomorrow already, but it's definitely you can definitely feel fall, which is good. I like fall. Stay inside, relax. But when does everybody think? So Vic thinks the turnaround's not going to be till 2024. If it's not till 2024, I think it's going to be ugly. What does everybody else think? I think we'll be before that. I think it's going to be sooner rather than later than what people think. It's when people think it's the worst of the worst. Yeah, see, I'm end of 2023, early 2024 for turnaround. Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit earlier than that, Candice. I think we're going to, but then again, this is the thing. I think it's still going to be like up, down, up. Like it's still going to be super volatile out there. It's going to be sharp we might not be through everything, especially with like inflation and stuff like that. We might bring it down, but then it probably will shoot, like it'll be kind of like up and down. I think quite a bit. It's not going to be a consistent inflation drop and everything's great. It's going to shoot up for whatever reason. It's going to be something that's going to happen that's going to cause things, cause us pain. So maybe, but it's hard to know really what the heck's going to happen. Anything could change overnight. Yeah. So, and that's that. And Vic, yeah, it's what I'm not monetized though. That was the deal, 1,000 and monetized. So you have to wait for that. Although if you do watch some of the live streams, go back. There's a lot of info on there. We talked about past jobs and all that kind of stuff. So you can check that out if you go listen to some of the old live streams, Vic. There's a lot of nuggets in there. You just have to find them. So start from beginning to if you start from the first live stream all the way through, you'll probably know all about my background. And I think this is your first live stream, so welcome. That's great. Lots of people on today. We always seem to get more. Friday seems to be a good day. Maybe people are off on Fridays and maybe that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's exactly. Just let the playlist run. Put the headphones on and turn the screen down and just let it play, and you'll learn a lot. You'll learn a lot. I've done a lot of things. Lots of things. And no, definitely not going to retire on Snap unless today it's reversed, and no, it's not reversed. Glad I don't own a Snap. Yeah, playlist run in the background, so good. I guess, or Candace, I could maybe run a background of I'll just run a background of the fireplace for 24 hours. Come back at it's going to be at Christmas. We're going to do we'll do the fireplace at Christmas. 24 hours. That's good. So I guess the thing with go back. Yeah, it would be nice to be monetized before the Santa rally. Will we get? It was supposed to be October this month, but we didn't. Well, we kind of had an October. It's not terrible. I mean, it's terrible, but it's not as bad as it could be out there. So maybe we get like a little bit of October. Maybe we'll get a Santa rally this year. We didn't have the Santa rally really last year, so maybe it will. I'm not going to be optimistic about it, but that would be nice. Yeah, it would be nice to make a little bit of money, because then I can just throw it into my TFSA for whatever bits and pieces come through. That'd be nice. I still like it. That's the thing. I mean, that's the thing about doing videos. I mean, when you first start, you don't make any money. I mean, I think the ads that play on there are probably ads in front of my videos now, but that just goes to YouTube. But it doesn't. I would still do it if I wasn't. I mean, I'm not getting monetized, so I still enjoy doing it. So yeah, so no hope. Yeah, no hope member. Yeah, maybe. Who knows? A Santa rally would be nice though. We'll see. I don't think people have a lot of money to spend on Santa rallies. That's the problem. That'll be interesting to see what happens with Christmas this year, on what people are, how the spending goes and everything else. I think people, although I mean, the big thing that people, I mean, the big thing I noticed is food, right? But I did notice like gas and fuel right now is less. Like the prices of fuel have come down, so that's good on the pocketbook. But food prices are still really high. But you just have to change what you buy. That's the thing. And I don't know. Like we always seem to get talking about inflation and everything else. But I'm on Twitter, and someone was complaining about the price of like a salad dressing, and it was like a pre-made type of salad dressing. The ones you get in I forget the brand. The ones you get in the refrigerated section. I know in the grocery store here, they like buy all the prepackaged lettuces and stuff like that. I forget the brand. It's in a bottle, but it's about like it was like $7 or something like that. They were complaining of the price, $6.99 or whatever it was, and they were saying it used to be like, $2 cheaper or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, it's just a salad dressing. Why not buy ingredients to make the salad dressing? And you'll spend a bit more to buy the base ingredients, but you'll have enough to make it for a giant batch or stuff in the future, instead of spending $7 on one bottle of dressing. Spend it and buy some olive oil, buy some vinegar, make it vinaigrette yourself, and it'll cost you, for the same amount, it would cost you half the price. I don't know. I just don't get that if people that complain about the prices of stuff, and there's ways to save money by doing it yourself. And I don't know if necessarily, not everybody's a great cook, but there's so much out there to learn, right? Go on YouTube and learn how to do something, and you can find a recipe, or there's so many recipes online to make things. I mean, I was in the store, and those little those prepackaged salads, and like a little thing of coleslaw was like $7 for like a little pint. It's like, what are you, crazy? Doesn't make any sense. Buy a cabbage and chop it up. Yeah, don't get fired there. Don't get fired there, Vic. Unless there's a whole bunch of workers. I guess the idea, what you should do is put everything up, put my channel on background for everybody in all the computers. That would help. Yeah, I don't know how. I think some companies do that. You get busted. Don't get fired. If you get fired, you'll have to look for a job. I'm guessing you don't work from home anymore. That's you have to go to the office. Can you wear headphones though? When I used to work in the office, I used to work next to somebody, and he used to, it was so funny. He used to watch, he had headphones on all the time, and he had a separate screen, and he was a big gamer, and he would always watch somebody playing, I forget what game it was, but one of the games he played on like a stream all the time. And then he'd move the monitor, like if the boss walked by, he'd like slide the screen to cover it, or the window to cover it. You have it going all the time. Still work though. You just had it on the background. It's kind of like his listening to music would be listening to this person play the game and stream. So, should you buy Snap? I don't know. No. I'll just say no. I can't say I would buy Snap. That's for sure. I don't know. Anybody else watching? Would you buy Snap today? I don't think so. I think if I had it, I probably wouldn't sell it today. Not at that loss. But that's just me. It doesn't make sense. Something goes down that much. It's like, I mean, depending on how you have it set, but if you've lost 30%, it's like, I guess you take your money and run, maybe. I don't really buy a lot of stocks though that I'm not holding for a long time anyways. So I would just kind of grin and bear it. Or if I had invested in Snap, I'd maybe look and see like, oh, maybe this is another time to buy some, but who knows? I have no idea about the company. I don't even know what that app does. It's a chat app. I know that, but I don't even know what its main goal. I don't use a lot of the social media stuff. I don't see the appeal. I obviously YouTube, social media, right? Uh, I don't use I don't have Facebook. I don't even have a Facebook account. I did, but I canceled it long ago. I thought it was just such a waste of time. No Snapchat. What are some other ones? TikTok. I don't have that. It's not my demographic either. Uh, I do have an Instagram because I do a lot of photos, but I less ever since Facebook bought it. I've used really started using it less and less. The problem with with Instagram now is there's so many ads on it. Like it used to be a great way to see other photographers and or your friends, right? That what they're doing. But I followed a lot of photographers on there, um, and it's just all advertising now. Like you see 3 ads for every one picture, and it, I just find it annoying. So I haven't used it for. I kind of check in there every once in a while, see what's going on, but I haven't used it for ages. I barely post anything on there anymore. I prefer to post like when I'm posting, for example, with social media. Like I post, Vic. I post on if I'm sharing photos, like I have my other channel. I'll post like do videos with photos and stuff on there on my YouTube, and that seems to be. I like doing that a bit better. Yeah, on the YouTube, but don't have anything else. I don't even know what some of the other ones are. If they're out there, just can't be bothered. I'm not a big messenger or texter anyways. So, yeah, just gets kind of, I find like, let's say Snapchat or like all these social media things, it can be, and like Facebook, all that kind of stuff. It can just be such a real time waster, I find, with no with no real benefit. Like I don't see the point. Like the point of spending your time on something is to obviously to learn, or but if you're not learning anything and you're just scrolling through and looking at just wasting time, I just don't see the point. I'd rather focus and spend the time making a video, doing a channel, doing a live stream, doing something creative on my own. That's just me. H-Grow, yeah, that's let's pull that one up. Horizons, yeah. What's in that one? Oh, you're up today a little bit. What's the what are the holdings in there, Vic? Is that a Canadian? Let's see. I'll pull up the holdings. Oh, okay. Hold on here. Let's pull that up. So this one looks like, yeah, it's like an ETF of ETFs. So that's like NASDAQ. What do we got here? We got large cap, NASDAQ, S&P. Oh, okay. Developing. Oh, so it's like yeah, that one looks decent actually. That's much like, a little bit like, I forget, I think it was Zach that, there we go, all equity ETF. Yeah. Those are great actually. I mean, those are, yeah, it's finding the one. It's just looking probably what has the best lowest fees. Maybe it's all done by computer algorithms, right? That's a good thing. So this one is much like the kind of what the Wealthsimple invest side does, but they kind of invest more in like individual ETFs, but this would kind of do it all in one for you. That's a good one. And then, oh, sorry, I missed the price. What's the price on it? What did it close? Price. Oh, okay. So it's a good what are the holdings? Let me just see here. So you have to kind of go into it and figure it out. So it's all equities, right? Yeah, it's all equities. And the price is good because the price is reasonable, right? So you don't have to. Yeah, that's good. That's what I was just gonna say. Like, because the price was like 11, $12, so it's a good one to buy a safe number of shares on a regular basis. Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. It's exactly DCA, exactly. It's yeah, it's a good one. Good find there. I'm gonna add that. Yeah, I'm gonna add that one to my watch, so I can. I'm gonna add that to my watch list, HGRO, so I can kind of keep an eye on what it's doing. Yeah, 1170. That's a good one. I'd buy that instead of buying Snap today. I can. That's some advice I could probably share. Yeah, yeah, I would get that instead of Snap. I think you're better off buying one of them. Like if you're gonna buy one, buy that. I think you're better off. But that's the thing. Like these ETFs, there's so many ETFs. There's no way to keep track of. There's no way. There's a bit more. There you go. Yeah, that's good. Buy it on a Snap instead of buying Snap. Yeah. Yeah. You buy Snap, it'll. What can we say? If you buy Snap, your money will be gone in a snap. Like your money's gone like that. I don't know. Bad. But not. Yeah. Hopefully nobody owns Snap that I know. That would be bad. Although you could turn. This is the thing. If someone's got the risk tolerance, I mean, maybe it is smart to buy some and then sell it on Monday. I don't know. Who knows? I can't say. Has it not dropped before? I think it dropped a lot before. Did it not? Yeah, it kind of did. Like August of last year was its high, and then it dropped back in January of 2022, and then it kind of rose back up a little bit, and then it dropped again, and then today it dropped again. So it has been on a decline. It seems like a lot of the stuff is like that though too, right? Like Meta's like that, Tesla as well. Tesla had their split though, so I don't know how that. And then, but it's all those kind of like 2020 tech stay at home kind of like what, like another one was like Peloton wasn't doing well. There was a few of them like DocuSign, Zoom, all the stuff that went crazy has all come back down. So I don't know. It's the whole tech thing is interesting. How boom and bust it is with that, but we'll see. Yeah, they essentially are. Yeah. Anybody that, yeah, they are. I think they are pretty much essentially, it's flat. Yeah. And hindsight, Vic, hindsight is always 2020. Maybe should have. I have a friend that in 2020 he sold in 20. He sold before everything. He had a like a townhouse, or not a townhouse, a condo that they sold in 2019, and he's been never bought another place yet, and he was thinking of he's been like from before that, because they were going to be have like the family's growing, whatever, and they needed a bigger place. So they had some at that time, knowing this is back in 2019, knowing that he was going to be buying a new home, took everything out of his investments and just put it into cash in 2019, and he was kicking himself because of the whole run up with 2020, but then it's all come back down now. Still hasn't bought, and now with the house prices coming down, he's actually kind of better off. Like, it kind of worked out, but it's weird. Like, it just happened to work out. But it's had they bought something in the market and run up, and probably wouldn't have. It would have erased it anyways. So, oh, you have some ARC. Oh, okay. I've looked at that one too. She bought a bunch of Tesla yesterday. That's what I read. It's that's a volatile one too. But if it hits, it hits, right? If you're into tech and stuff, it's not. If you're into tech, maybe it's not a bad thing. Pharmaceuticals, that kind of thing, risky, but if you can handle the volatility, then why not, right? And GICs, yeah, you know what? You see those. I've never owned it, like bought a GIC, but you start to see it now, and you're like, oh, not bad actually, really not bad. I wouldn't necessarily lock it in for a long period of time, but if it's not there, they are looking good. Yeah, they are looking good. That's for sure. And I do have a job. Yes, I do work. I think Candace. I don't know. I don't know if I'm pretty sure Candace has a job. I'm going to assume, but maybe not. Maybe she's retired, off for day trading by now. I don't know. Maybe maybe she won the lottery. I don't know. I actually have a long. It's funny on the lottery, I say, but I have a friend from years back, so more of an acquaintance, more of a friend of back from 20 years ago, a partner of somebody. She won the lottery. She won the big one, and I know. I don't know. I haven't seen her in 10 years, but I was scrolling through the news, and she won the Super 7. So she's disappeared now. Good for her. Yeah, 4.5. Yeah, Canada Savings Bonds. I remember those as a kid. My mom had Canada Savings Bonds. Um, um, Maybe she's got them hidden somewhere she can cash in, but I doubt it. I remember those two. You used to have to go to the bank and buy them. Hate my job, basement apartment, and my portfolio. Well, I don't know. Should make some changes then, I guess. I'm thankfully enough, like my job. That's it. There we go. Day trading. There. That answers it. Live off YouTube. I could see day trading being very stressful, Candace. Yes. YouTube is something that's not stressful. The best part about like, I have my other channel, and I can't live off it. It's extra fun money that typically goes into a lot of it goes into my TFSA, but it's not. I don't find it. The thing about YouTube, it's not stressful. It can be maybe stressful. No, you know what? It's not, because you get to literally do what you want to do, and if you don't want to do something, you don't have to do it. It's the one. I think it's the one job where you literally are your own boss, and you don't have to deal with, like, even if you're your own boss somewhere, you're still having to deal with customers and customers, clients, whatever, suppliers, all that kind of stuff. You're still dealing with other people. Where YouTube, you're really not. You obviously you have your audience, which is awesome, but you don't necessarily, if you decided you want to change something, you are having contact with them if you're doing live streams or comments, that kind of stuff, but you're free to do whatever you want, like literally whatever you want in terms of content and topic. And you can shift topics, and you can change things if you want. If you don't like doing one thing, you can start a different channel in a different topic, and you can go with that, right? And there's nobody to tell you can't, which is great. So that's the one thing about YouTube. Not very stressful. At least I don't find it stressful. If you don't feel like doing a video, you just don't do a video, and I think it's fine. And if you have an audience, if they have to wait an extra few days till your next video, it's like some extra few days. I got busy, did other things, especially if you're not doing it full time. I mean, obviously it'd be different if it's like a huge channel, hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and you have a consistent schedule, you have to post stuff, then it might be a bit more stressful, and a team and everything else. But I find it relaxing, more of a hobby. But good point. But I don't think I could be a day trader. Not smart enough. Be too scared. Yeah, not for me. Not for me. There we go. And so Vic, hopefully your portfolio changes, I guess, talking about stress and everything else. I don't think anybody's is loving their portfolio right now necessarily. That's the main thing. We just have to kind of get over this bad time, no matter how long. I mean, depending how long it lasts, it might get harder, but we'll be through it. So there we go. Consistency is the key, right? Yeah, and that makes a difference. And you probably noticed that. I'm gonna say YouTube rewards that for you, right? You'll be rewarded, Candace, by being consistent and by putting that out there. You definitely will. YouTube likes consistency, and it likes volumes, right? To go through. It's interesting. I mean, I know we'll talk about it when we will do that live stream when we have time. But you'll get rewarded. It'd be great if you do something full time that you love. That's the big thing, right? If you love what you do, and you can do it full time and make a decent living on it, then that's awesome. No matter what it is, even if you're working for somebody else, it doesn't matter, as long as you enjoy it. I think so. Change this. I think Candace is going to start to do a little bit more videos on that on her channel. I don't want to speak for Candace, but I think there's some interest with that. I'd be interested with that. It's like, but I think the good thing about Candace's channel is she's down to earth, right? She's realistic. She's not one of those. You look at, if you look at other videos, like let's just use day trading for an example, right? You look at some other YouTubers' videos, and they're like pumpers, and like, dude, it's like making it sound like it's easy and everybody should do it and everything else. It's not the right thing. That seems to be a lot of the investment channels, but she seems to be really methodical and researched, and will do a good job, I think, maybe explaining what she actually does. But it'd be interesting to try. I mean, I know there's places that you can go and you can pretend to do it, but that doesn't have the same. That even still doesn't have the same. I don't think that's necessary. I mean, that's probably a good thing to learn. To learn kind of how to do it, but I don't necessarily think that that's the best way. That wouldn't be the way you would actually trade if you were using actual money. I think if you're using actual money, you would think about things still a little bit differently than what you would do if it was a free trial kind of like demo account to pretend money. That's just how I think I'm gonna do it. So, but it might be fun maybe to take if you have a a certain budget to try and just to try and do it. Um, as I mean, let's say not advice to spend your money on day trading by any means, but if I always think of it too, like if it's something you maybe enjoy or want to try, if you budget X amount of dollars, let's just say you budget yourself $100, and whether you're going to go out for dinner one night or into a movie, you're going to spend $100. But if you say, look, I want to try this today as like like treat it more as like an expense that way, like an entertainment to kind of you know to see if you enjoy it or something like that. And you can and if you can afford it and it's in your budget, don't do it. If you can't afford it, don't borrow money to do it, that kind of thing. But I don't see the point. I don't see the harm in trying it. It's the same as like going out to the if you liked. I'm not a big casino person, but if you liked going out for a night at the casino with friends or something, and you take X amount of dollars, you're expecting to lose it, right? And if you don't, it's kind of a benefit. So, but it's hard. Yeah, I mean, nothing's easy, right? It's the same with it's the same with it's the same with doing YouTube. Everything's, oh, I'm gonna start a channel and I'm gonna make a fortune and like I'm gonna get millions of views and retire. But it doesn't work like that. There's no such thing as really like, passive income. It still involves work, whether you're managing something or there's no such thing as money just happen, landing in your lap as passive income every month. It doesn't work like that. So if you're watching ever watching people, saying that it is, they're sitting on a beach somewhere making passive income. They're not. They're working hard. There we go. So yeah, I could see it being very stressful. It wouldn't be for me. That's a good point, actually. Change spare. It's not right. Like anybody. That's the thing. Anybody can do it, and anybody can do it fairly easily now. That's the great thing, especially with with these apps. Not to say that Wealthsimple is the only one, but there's so many. There's lots of. It's a lot easier to do it now for people that to. It's simple to start. It's very simple to start, and I mean, if I was 19 or 20 again and had something as simple as Wealthsimple to be able to auto deposit stuff a lot simpler, I would have started like way earlier in different things. But so it's good for younger people for sure coming forward, I think. There we go. So anyways, we are coming up to the hour. Always goes the always goes like that. So we're getting close to 9. Got to start working. Candace's day is about half done because the market's is about halfway open now. But at this point, I always say for people that are watching, if you hit that like button, always appreciate it. Helps out the channel. Thanks to everybody that has joined on today. Fridays are great. Everybody seems to have a bit more time maybe to jump in on a Friday live stream. We go about an hour. I do appreciate everybody dropping in and just saying hey. And a few new people. Vic, welcome. I haven't had you on before, so that's great. A few of the regulars, always good. Candace, thanks for taking your time out of your busy day trading. Hopefully it's a good day for you. And I will do an update, as I always like to say. It's coming to the end of the week, so we will do an update on my portfolio on how it's doing for the week. Once the market closes, I usually get that in. Try and get it up on Fridays. It doesn't always happen, but obviously we'll have something up on the. I will have something up on the weekend for sure to show you how we did, because I did make those new purchases. You can check that out on the community tab. Candace is going to be working. I see her comment there. She's editing a video still. Well, it'll be faster when you have your new computer. I guarantee you. Well, not the editing part, but the rendering part. So it will be faster. Will help as you go. So that's awesome. We'll have a new video from Candace. Check out her channel. I think everybody's subscribed over there, hopefully. And that's all. It is Friday, TGIF. Hopefully, I haven't looked at the market again since. I think if it's going to be a seesaw, I think that's what we're into. But maybe we'll end the week with a little bit of green. That might be nice, at least for a change. Gives us a bit of a rally. So maybe we will get an October an October by the end of by the end of the month. Anyways, we will see. And Jason will catch you. It's good morning, Jason, but we're actually just about to sign off. You caught us at the very end here, but great to have you. Great to have you here. Hit that like button, Jason. Always appreciate it. You'll be able to go back and check out the live stream in the replay. So that's all, everybody. Have a great weekend. It's Friday. Don't work too hard. My coffee, I know when the live stream is over, when my coffee cup is empty. So I'm going to go fill that up. Have a great day. See you in the next live stream. I will post it on the channel.